gentlemen, we are live! It's time!
What up, everybody? How you doing? What's up, my good man? What's up, my good lady? How are you all doing today? Happy Tuesday to you all. We are now live. It is Tuesday, September the 16th, 2025, and this is another live edition. Let me fix this real quick. I told Javier to fix this, but we are live. What's going on, everyone? We are now live with the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. What's going on, everyone? How's your day going so far? I can't hear you, but I am hoping that it's going very well. I'm hoping that you're having an amazing day. I hope that you are looking forward to your weekend. It's a lot of stuff happening, right? There is obviously WrestlePalooza. There is All Out. Saturday is going to be crazy as all hell. But I will tell you guys this. We will be previewing both WrestlePalooza and All Out this Thursday here on the channel. So keep an eye when that stream drops. And this will not be the only time that this channel will be live today. Nah. So we're going live twice tonight. So not only are you getting the Raw Rundown right now as you're seeing this, right, live in full effect here on September the 16th, 2025. But later on tonight at 8 p.m., not only will I be around, but the gang will be there as well over on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel for the return of NX3 episode 118 for your NXT homecoming. That's happening tonight live at Full Sail. So we'll be live on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, but we'll also be live here as well. So it'll be a simulcast, if you will. So now you know. All right. Now you know that's what's happening. We hope to see you all on both channels, either channel, however it is. Hope you're just supporting. Okay. But if you've not checked out the other content from yesterday on Steve's Kitchen, look at that amazing thumbnail. I must say, this has to be the thumbnail of the year. This has to be thumbnail of the year. The Raw Rundown where I gave my thoughts on WrestleMania 43 going to Saudi Arabia and everyone just getting all up in arms about it. And I also gave my thoughts on Andrade leaving WWE and also my thoughts on Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford and all that went down on that fight. So if you've not give that a listen or watch, go give that a watch whenever you get a chance. But that thumbnail alone, I must say, this, again, the GOAT, the mother of all thumbnails right here. Just like WrestleMania 43 will be the mother of all WrestleManias, this thumbnail, the mother of all thumbnails. It's like we say it in Peru. Like we say in Peru, pucha, me pasé. Te pasaste, mano. I'm just saying. But I hope all of you again are having a good day. Champions League started today, the UEFA Champions League, and of course, my Real Madrid against all odds with 10 players on the team. Okay, with 10 players on the team, they found a way to win. Kylian Mbappe scoring 2 goals, 2 penalty kicks for the win. I am happy. We're off to a good start in the Champions League. Not dominant. We're not like this dominant force that we should be. Because when you think of the UEFA Champions League, you think Real Madrid, right? The 15-time UEFA Champions League winners, right? And look, I'll be honest, I'm actually enjoying this new concept of, now it's league play where everyone plays each other. It's no longer groups of 4 and, it's no longer that. It's now everyone plays each other in the Champions League. So there's that. Overall, PSV shat the bed. I must say. What the fuck was up with them? Benfica tied against Quarberg. I think that's the name of the team. Borussia Dortmund and Juventus went ham, literally. And of course, you had Arsenal beating. My goodness, what's the name of this team that they beat? Let me go to my Foot Mob app here. God damn it. Let me go to my Foot Mob app. God damn it. Arsenal beat Atletico Bilbao 2-0. But overall, and again, I got Tottenham beating VRL 1-0. Overall, good games of Champions League. Just PSV who fucked the parlay today. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Happy that my Real Madrid got the win. But you guys are not here for, Raw, for me talking about the UEFA Champions League or anything like that. You're here for Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to make this quick because I'll be honest with you guys. Raw overall, I'll be honest. This was the go home show. This is a go home show to WrestlePalooza, right? I've always said the importance of a go home show is to get you, the viewer, you, the person watching, right, to say, you know what, I'm actually looking forward. The show, Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or Dynamite, whatever it is, and God, I'm hoping that AEW delivers tomorrow with September to Remember. 3 hours. Fucking pray for me tomorrow. Holy shit. But again, it's their go home show as well. The objective with these go home shows for both companies should be to get the people to look forward to the pay-per-view or PLE, get them excited. You know what I mean? I thought Raw last night, not saying it was bad or anything, but I'll be honest, respectfully, very, very respectfully,
I'm not feeling it.
And if I'm going on Cage Match right now, a good chunk of y'all felt the same way. It was a 6.19, 619 was the rating out of 10. I'll be honest, outside of John Cena's promo, and I guess the AJ Lee CM Punk and Becky and Rollins in-ring promo that led to a little brawl where obviously, what does this do? Oh, wow. Okay. All right, StreamYard, good for you. That little segment where AJ took her first bump, and I guess the ending where LA Knight finally got his revenge. Everything on the show, the rest of the show, just so like, whatever. Okay. But honestly, just go if you have not watched Raw last night, just go back and rewatch. Go back and rewatch the opening promo with Cena. And I guess the AJ Lee and CM Punk and Becky and Rollins, the married couples promo. Everything else, whatever. Okay. But let me know your thoughts in the chat, or if not in the playback. What did you like from Monday Night Raw? What did you not like, and all that stuff? But this is your Monday Night Raw review for September the 15th, 2025. Raw last night was live from Springfield, Massachusetts at the Mass Mutual Center. The attendance was 7,285. It felt like a packed house. And they opened the show up with Cena, right? Got this big, massive pop. Of course he would, right? Of course he would. Why would he not? Like, why would he not, get this big reaction, right? And basically, he gets in the ring and he talks about his time in Springfield, Massachusetts, where he played football. I think he was an offensive lineman, if I remember correctly. If I butchered it, please, to all my football heads out there, please correct me if I got it wrong. And he remembered just the time that he was there back in the day, how people who are in the building right now, who were there yesterday, some old friends, people he haven't spoken to in years and stuff like that. But also he went on to reference Brock Lesnar, right? And let's be honest, as far as the build for this match, it's like we don't really know why Brock Lesnar in the first place. Why did he attack John Cena at SummerSlam? What's the purpose, right? Why? Like, can someone please tell me why? Why, oh, why, oh, why? Right? And you thought we would have gotten a response last week with Brock, but instead, he basically ripped his pants. F5 though. Who did he F5? God damn, who did he F5 this past oh yeah, R-Truth. He F5 R-Truth, and then his pants fucking ripped. Motherfucker ripped his pants. And that was it. Like this scary monster, right? That people are supposed to be afraid of, making people laugh. Right? And then we get to Raw, and it's like, yo, Cena, please get people to care. Do your magic on the microphone. Do your magic, bro. Please get people to give a shit, considering the fact that it will be the main event of WrestlePalooza. And Cena went out there and he declared that he would not back down from Brock Lesnar and vowed to defeat him at WrestlePalooza. Very to the point promo. Very to the point. We talked about the many times that him and Brock faced off against each other, right? And it's just one of those things where, again, do we really get a reason why? No. Should it be, a match? Like, look, don't expect these two guys to go out there and try a new hold. No, that's not going to happen. They're going to play the hits. Chances are Cena's going to get Suplex City probably 12 times and still kick out and find a way to win. Honestly, I don't see him winning, but we'll see how they go about it. But overall, I thought the promo itself, the crowd was into this. Again, they were in his home state, right? And he was just over as Rover. I know he was rocking the 54 on his entrance, and I think also on his t-shirt. It's a reference to his college jersey that he wore back in the day. So there was that also. We got, after this, backstage, we saw Adam Pearce speaking with both LA Knight and Jey Uso before booking, because basically, again, LA Knight wants division. He wants division. He doesn't give a fuck if it's Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. He wants one of the Brauns. He wants both the Brauns. Pause. And Adam Pearce basically said, you know what? Is that what you want? I'll give you the match, but you got to find a partner. And LA Knight, just to, poke fun at Jey Uso, he proceeds to choose Jay's brother, Jimmy. And this got Jay so upset. But you got to keep in mind, too, it's like, mind games, just, fucking around with Jey Uso here. Mentally, right? From there, we got Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez. Look, they've had amazing matches on NXT back in the day. I'm not saying this match wasn't bad or anything, but I've seen these two women have better matches before. This match basically ends with Lyra Valkyria defeating Roxanne Perez. So when you think about it, right, last week, who was it? Raquel Rodriguez did beat Lyra Valkyria. So you got to have at least Lyra get a win over one of the members, right, of the Judgment Day, right? And after the match, basically both Raquel and Roxanne proceeded to attack her, right? They proceed to attack Lyra Valkyria. And who would make the save? Bayley. Bayley shows up sporting an AJ Lee t-shirt, right? And lays out Raquel and Roxanne. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, is she going to attack Lyra Valkyria, right? But instead, she proceeds to give her a hug and run around and start hugging people. And it's like, for a moment, we were watching Bayley, that we all know, right, today, showing the behavior, the mannerisms from Hugger Bayley from the good old NXT Black and Gold days. So I guess the way they're going with this is she is playing the many personalities in one body, right? That's basically what she's doing here. It's like they're taking over the body of Bayley, basically. And everybody was like, what the fuck? Like, she started hugging Corey Graves. I think at one point she hugged, who was it? Joe Tessitore, right? The ring crew, the camera crew, some of the fans who were in the crowd, right? Just hugging everybody and shit. Which was like kind of weird, but whatever, for the most part. Ron Cena, there you go. Christopher Leclerc, Roxanne Perez has 33 losses in 2025. That is crazy. I did not even know that. Guys, if you are tuning in right now, please leave a like on this video / stream. It does help out the video to be shared on all other people's searches and stuff like that. The algorithm, you guys know how that works. So please leave a like, leave a share. All right. Tell your friends. Also, if you've not heard, later on tonight, we will be live at 8 o'clock, as we'll be not only live on this channel, but also live on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel for episode 118 of NX3 as we watch along to NXT Homecoming. Okay. So we'll be live on two channels, this channel and also on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel as well. And if you've not checked out Steve's Kitchen from yesterday, go give that a watch. I gave my thoughts on WrestleMania 43 going to Saudi Arabia, my thoughts on Andrade leaving WWE, and of course, my thoughts on Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. So if you have not checked those out, go give those a watch whenever you get your own opportunity to do so. All right. Let me do one more thing here. There you go. Now we're back. Here. Christopher writes here, Bayley has her own locker room. Yes, she does. Yeah, man, you work hard, you get some reward. So good for her. From there, we saw Stephanie McCurry and Io Sky sign the contract for their match at WrestlePalooza. I wish this would have been in the ring, right? But at the same time, I kind of don't. Like, keep in mind, I am not a big fan of contract signings. I'm not. It's so stupid. Like, you announce the match, you make it official, right? But you still have to sign a contract. It's so fucking dumb. But after this, right, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane interrupted, and it looked like we were going to see Asuka and Stephanie McCurry, which I think would be a banger. Don't get me wrong, but instead, Asuka volunteered for Kairi to face Stephanie McCurry later on in the night. From there, we see backstage LA Knight meeting up with Jimmy Uso. And he asked him if he would team up with him tonight. And Uso, said that this whatever's going on between, LA Knight and Jay, that's between them two, right? But they have a big match this Saturday at WrestlePalooza. But he respectfully declined to be LA Knight's tag team partner. So we thought later on. Right? From there, we go to Penta versus Kofi Kingston. Overall, the match itself, it was fine. Nothing to really go crazy about. Again, Xavier Woods is selling this injury that he has, right? They're still trying to ban the Mexican Destroyer. And what do you know? Penta gets to win with the Mexican Destroyer. Edward writes here, Roxanne has won 15 matches in the last 155 days, while Bayley has won 0. Even counting live shows, Bayley hasn't won a match. What are you talking about here? Okay, that is kind of weird, but okay. Hey, vital information, I guess, right? Vital information. Not that anyone asked for it, to be honest. No one asked for that information. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. From there, we move on here. From there, we got backstage, Jey Uso, who met up with Jimmy Uso, right? And said that he could not team with LA Knight. That was basically with Jay told Jimmy he cannot team up with LA Knight. However, Jimmy told Jay that he had already rejected Knight's offer, but Jimmy did not like the way Jay was talking to him. It sounded like, he was trying to be like Roman Reigns. The way he was, being confronted here, right? And that's what Jimmy didn't like, right? So because of that, Jimmy Uso proceeds to go back to LA. Tell him, yeah, I'll be your partner tonight. But Jimmy also said Jay, he's not gonna let Jay boss him around since Jay doesn't have the Ulafala. So it's like you're throwing more like a salt to the wound because you think about it, right? Jay could have had the Ulafala if it wasn't for Jimmy Uso. SummerSlam 2023, Tribal Combat. Trust me, I was there. Yeah, big letdown. But be that as it may, we find out, like I mentioned before, Jimmy Uso did meet up with LA Knight and he agreed to be his partner in the main event. Once again. And I'll be honest, like, look, I get it. There's a lot of people who are not happy with the main event scene right now on Monday Night Raw. It just feels a very rinse and repeat. If it's not LA Knight versus LA Knight versus Braun Breaker, it's LA Knight versus Bronson Reed. If it's not Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker, it's Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. If it's not Jimmy Uso versus Braun Breaker, it's Jimmy Uso versus Bronson Reed. It's all those combinations. At a certain point, it gets repetitive. And also factoring in, I get it. You want to give the Bronze some momentum going into WrestlePalooza, but I don't need to see them teaming up in a tag team match. I don't need to see 3 people who are in that match at WrestlePalooza in the ring in a match on Monday Night Raw. When the pay-per-view, the PLE, is in a couple of days. Can we please stop doing that, WWE? Wrestling as a whole, can we please stop doing that? Just saying. Just saying. From there, we got the in-ring segment between obviously, the vision of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. And I don't know, did it look like they mashed up their themes? I hope not. I hope not. But Rollins put over Becky Lynch in a promo. However, it immediately got interrupted by CM Punk and AJ Lee. Punk made fun of Lynch and Rollins' outfits and asked if their egos would get in their way on WrestlePalooza. Christopher, I must say this with all due respect. How do you have all this like memorized? And not for nothing. And I mean this again with the utmost respect. No one cares. It's cool. Like, I don't mean to be a dick when I say it, but like, that's wonderful to know. Yeah, her last match was on April 14th. But what does that have to do with anything that I'm saying in this review right now? I'm just saying, look, guys, if you guys want to write your stats and think that's impressive, by all means. But I'm going to be honest, no one gives a fuck about these stats and numbers and bullshit. Just saying. Maybe some other creators, if you put that in their chats, they will, pretty much give you one of these. You know what I mean? They will give you one of these. Over here, you get this.
This guy's a D1 Glazer.
Yeah. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Where was I before I was randomly interrupted for no reason whatsoever? Basically, where was I here? Also factoring in, Punk said, I'm AJ's husband. I have no problem saying that, or I have no problem coming out to the ring with my wife's music, which basically what happened. Punk took offense at, what was it? Punk took offense at saying that he was the most selfish man that he ever met. Rollins then said getting AJ Lee wouldn't be the biggest regret of his life. However, AJ responded by saying that she wouldn't be involved if he did not use Becky as a human shield against Punk. They went back and forth. AJ admitted that she did not know how her neck would fare in WrestlePalooza, but she said she and Punk would win. There's back and forth. And what I liked about this too, somewhere in this, AJ AJ referred, hey, you know what? She's a Puerto Rican chick from New Jersey. That put a smile on my face. Like, yeah, yo, Jersey, yo. Because she knows what's up. Like, yo, look, I said this before. When she made her return, right, on SmackDown, look, it's Chicago. She got this big pop. I know that she lives in Chicago, but she'll forever be New Jersey. Forever be New Jersey, right? And all this led to them talking back and forth. Somewhere in this, AJ slaps Rollins. And there's a moment where it's like, yo, Becky and Rollins had they were like arguing, right, in the corner. And Rollins goes on to leave, right? I think that's what happened. Rollins, like Becky left, right? Becky left or some shit like that, right? And Punk went on to chase Rollins. And as this is happening, Becky gets back in the ring and drops AJ with the manhandle slam. AJ's first bump in 10 years. She sold it like it was in pain, right? But you want to give also the heel some momentum going into the match. But we'll see what happens with that. But overall, I thought the promo back and forth was pretty good. And yeah, for the most part, you got to give the heel some momentum as well. From there, we saw Byron Saxton interviewing Dominic Mysterio, and it was cut off as Penta was attacked by the New Day backstage. Remember, Dominic now is Dominic Two Belts. He's not only the men's Intercontinental Champion, but he's also the AAA Mega Champion, right? He's also that, and I know backstage there's like a little altercation with the judge, with him and Finn, right? Because again, Dominic's friendship with El Grande Americano. The people are like, they're not happy about it. But look, man, I mean, Dom can have his friends. What's wrong with that? From there, we got El Grande Americano versus Dragon Lee. And of course, the two masked degenerates hopped over the barricade once again, hopping over the barricade once again. And what do you know? Caused problems. It led to AJ to come out. But when it was all said and done, El Grande Americano picked up the win against Dragon Lee. The match went about 10 minutes. So there was that as well. But it looks like, you're going to add Dragon Lee to the mix. I feel like AJ deserves better. This is bullshit, in my humble opinion. But hey, it is what it is. From there, we had Stephanie Vaquer and Asuka going at it one-on-one. Basically, the match itself, for the most part, it was fine. The match went about 11 minutes, almost 12 minutes, right? And factoring in that, hey, Stephanie Vaquer does have the match at the PLE coming up. You want to give her a win, right? And after this, Asuka confronted Vaquer. However, Io Sky simmered all the tension, right? So we were left with Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer in the ring, staring at each other. One of these two women will be the new women's world champion. It should be a fun match. The fans win at the end. From there, we got the main event. Here. We have the vision of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker versus Jimmy Uso and LA Knight. And all I can tell you guys, I just didn't give a fuck. I just didn't care. Just did not care at all about this match. Again, it's the same rinse and repeat. Right? Somewhere in this match, when it was all said and done, obviously, look, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker got, oh my goodness, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker got the win, and pretty sure Bronson Reed hit the jagged edge on LA Knight. That's the only thing that's cool. They're calling Bronson Reed's finishing move the jagged edge. And then after this, Jey Uso made the save. But then LA Knight had a steel chair, trying to even things out, telling Jay, like, now we're even, we're good. And they shake hands, right? And when it was all said and done, LA Knight proceeds to hit Jey Uso with the BFT to end the broadcast. Again, they're even now. They're even. Even though I do think it's best they do this now and not at the PLE. I think LA Knight will get involved. It's crazy to think that you're doing a WrestlePalooza and he's not even on the show, but he'll be involved in some way, shape, or form. Overall, look, like I mentioned before, Raw, I'll be honest. Again, the Cena promo, AJ, Punk, Rollins, and Becky segment. That was basically it. Everything else was just whatever. And I guess what's going on with Bayley right now, her just going 3 persona. Because I know there was this thing backstage where Stephanie McCurr went to check up on Bayley in her private locker room. And it looked like Bayley was having a conversation, right? But then you see Stephanie hearing, like, my bad, you hear Lyra hearing all this shit, and you see her knock on the door. She opens it, and Bayley's by herself. So it's like there's some shit going on with Bayley. I'm interested, though. I'm interested for the most part. But let me know your thoughts in the comment threads. What did you like from Raw? What did you not like from Raw? If you've not checked out the other content here on the channel, make sure you do. Like yesterday on Steve's Kitchen, I gave my thoughts on all the stuff that's going on with WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia and all the fans, being up in arms about this. So make sure you give it a listen or give it a watch whenever you get a chance. And later on tonight at 8 p.m., an hour or so from now, we'll be live not only on this channel, but also on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel as we simulcast, as we watch along NXT Homecoming episode 118 of NX3. We are so back. So make sure you tune in live at 8 p.m. either on this channel that you're watching this right now or on True Heel Heat. All right. You guys can follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Point Network. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. That's going to be it for me, guys. Much love to all of you. Much love. All right. And this has been the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network. Peace out, y'all.